A very good Sunday morning to you. We welcome you to day number 3 and game number 9 of the Colt World Series from Loeb Stadium in Lafayette here on MTC Sports. Our first pair of games today, elimination games, a chance for teams to advance on to the 4th day of this tournament. South Korea, which got a win yesterday over Michigan. They took on last year's runners-up in Greensboro, North Carolina, who lost their first game of the tournament last night. And, Sean, I don't think Greensboro wanted to try to repeat this, but they're hoping to, and that was make the final game of the tournament after losing their opener a year ago.
Yeah, we've seen them in the past, though, lose early in the tournament and make a deep run. So expect Reed Holmes and his crew be ready to go today. And
this is a South Korea team that won yesterday, but there was some controversy involved in their win. Tell us about it.
Yeah, they got out to a really hot start with the bats, but it wasn't until the 6th inning that it was kind of pointed out that they thought that maybe a bat was illegal, and after an inspection, found that there were a few. So they are without their head coach. They are without one of their better players that's played in the tournament so far.
Let's give you the defensive alignment now for Greensboro, North Carolina. Smith, Pegram, and Smith in the outfield. Zente, Neese, Bledsoe, Pruitt in the infield. Bartley is the catcher, and Jacob Edwards is on the mound for Greensboro. And, Sean, this is a young man that was here and part of that runner-up effort a season ago.
He was, and yesterday struggled at the plate a little bit, but he'll get a start on the mound today in what is an elimination game for Greensboro. So I expect Edwards to probably be one of their tougher pitchers on the staff.
So first of 4 we'll have for you today here on MTC Sports. This game to be followed by our next elimination contest, Hoosier North, battling the South Texas Sluggers. Then winners bracket games come your way at approximately 4 and 6:30 this afternoon and this evening. Lafayette and the team from Mexico play each other at 6:30. That is preceded by Aruba and Chula Vista, California at 4 o'clock this afternoon. Our pregame show brought to us by IU Health, Arnett Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. 765-448-8000, iuhealth.org/Arnett.
You know, Greg, the benefit is you've got to win. You got to do it early. You know, it's just the way it is. If you want to survive in this tournament, you win early, which means you get to play in the later games. You get more rest. A team like Greensboro, game capped off, finished last night after 10 p.m., and they turn around and play in the first game here today.
Jae-Ho Shin at the plate for South Korea. Got a couple of gates open after the first pitch. That's the reason why we have the momentary stoppage in play. Jae-Ho Shin, the center fielder for South Korea, batting .500 through 2 games so far. 3 for 6, 4 runs scored. Has a double. Has a walk as well.
Played really well yesterday for them, going 2 for 3 at the plate in that game. And in that leadoff spot, that's what you ask for. You want that leadoff hitter to get on so you can make that run.
Edwards struggling to find the plate here early. Does there, and given the fact that Shin was a good 5 feet out of the batter's box and that ball crossed home plate, safe to say he was taken on 3-0.
Yeah, not sure exactly what the thought process is there, but he is he's looking for that walk, obviously, because he's moonwalking in that batter's box right now.
This one's sprayed foul. First baseman gives chase, but that will get into the picnic and patio area down the right field line, the team house for the Lafayette Jeff Broncos. This is their home field from a high school perspective. Talked extensively over the last couple of days about the new tenant here at Loeb Stadium, that being the Lafayette Aviators. We saw their season come to an end last night in Kokomo. Little flare, right center field. That'll get down for at least 1. That'll keep going. It could be 2, maybe even 3. All the way to the track. Shin makes the turn. He's headed for third. Cutoff throw. Will not be there in time. That is a leadoff triple for South Korea.
Boy, you absolutely love it. When your leadoff hitter is able to get on like he has in this tournament, it spells good things, and that's why Korea has continued to play well. You see here, hit towards the gap, and when you hit it towards those power alleys with this almost major league dimensions, when you get from left center to right center, man, you can run for days. Pretty good relay turn there for Greensboro, but On time.
Jumin Lee now at the plate. First pitch swinging. Late decision to run towards home. Shortstop couldn't field it cleanly. In fact, he couldn't field it at all. There'll be no play at either base. Run scores for South Korea. An early 1-0 lead before an out is recorded here in this elimination game.
Yeah, that's what you asked for. Again, you're jumping on them early. We've seen a lot of first inning runs scored in this tournament so far. And we've seen some sloppy defense as well, and an error there on the shortstop.
So an error on the shortstop. Plates the run. So a hit and an error have produced an early run for South Korea. And the number 3 hitter, Sang-Ho Jung. Tipped his hand that he might think about a bunt here. He's not. Runner goes, and how about that swing right behind the runner heading from first to second. He'll make the turn and heading to third. And it might be early in the morning, but South Korea's bats are fully awake to start this contest.
Well, I tell you, South Korea has come ready to play in this tournament this year. With the Asia Pacific team, we've seen them struggle in previous seasons at the Colt World Series. Not the case this season. This team has been very competitive in both of their first 2 games and looking to jump all over Greensboro here early in this one.
Rakyun Hong now to the plate for South Korea, the left fielder. He is 4 for 8. Infielders in at the corners, starting to creep in up the middle as well. They throw behind the runner. They got him in a pickle play. Runner will break for home. They will now throw home. He will be safe there, and runner safe at second base as well. And that's one of those plays, if you're Greensboro, you're almost better off ignoring the guy going home. It's so early in the game. If you let that guy score at home and you get the out, suddenly the bases are cleared. You can kind of catch your breath a little bit. But now the inning continues with 2 runs in and nobody out for South Korea.
I agree with you there. You got to get at least 1 out. But what we've seen, and this has happened 4 times in this tournament so far, the run has scored. We have not seen a play at the plate where the runner has been thrown out at home because the throw comes way too late.
Rakyun Kwong. Swing and a miss. Oh, that's a foul tip.
You know, in that situation, Greg, you've got to make the decision. One of 2 things. You're either going to give up that steal to second base and force that runner back to third, or you're going to get that out and allow the run to score. You cannot allow a double steal basically happen and get no outs out of it.
Curveball's in there for a strike. Count evens up at 2-2. Hong says his favorite team, the St. Louis Cardinals.
Hong's been their biggest run producer here in the tournament so far as well.
Runner goes. This one sent towards right center field. Right fielder giving chase. This will be over his head. That'll be to the wall. A little bit of a late start for the runner, but he'll eventually come around and make it in. He was going on the play, and he must have headed back to second thinking the outfielder might catch it. He had plenty of time, though, to come around and score. Another extra base hit. It is a 3-run top half of the first for South Korea before an out is recorded.
Add another RBI to the totals there for Hong. That gives him 5 in the tournament now. That young man swinging a hot bat.
So 3 hits and an error have produced 3 runs to this juncture. And Reed Holmes, the manager for Greensboro, this team a yearly fixture here at the Colt World Series. This is not the weekend he had envisioned, given that they made it to the final game a season ago. They ended the streak of Los Gatos, California, in terms of winning this championship.
Yeah, he brings back 3 or 4 players from last year's tournament as well, so you would expect a seasoned manager and some experience coming back to understand what it takes here at the Colt World Series. But they've ran into a buzzsaw so far. A very good Mexico team last night. And again, we talked about the competitive nature of this South Korea team.
That curveball is in there for a strike. Kyungmin Kwong, the catcher. He is 2 for 7 so far here in the tournament. does have a double. And again, runner takes off. They wheel in third base. Tag applied. They got him. So South Korea being awfully aggressive on the base pass. You could hardly blame them given the fact they have scored 3 runs already. With nobody really holding on at second base, trying to get that extra 90 feet. The left-hander, Edwards, recognizes it in time and records the first out of the inning at third base.
For me, that's a little too aggressive there. You got 0 outs in the inning with another runner in scoring position. We'll see that, you circle a situation like this. Already that 3-0 lead, but still a great opportunity to have a big, big first inning here.
Third baseman charges, fires, has plenty of time, gets the out, and there's quickly 2 away.
Nice job just fielding the position there for Greensboro third baseman and Tommy Zente. We've seen Zente play well defensively. He's also done a nice job at the plate in the series so far.
Jae-Young Shim now at the plate. He is the right fielder. Some of the dirt ball 1. Shim is 3 for 7 at the plate. Here in through 2 games, has one of the home runs for this team from Seoul, South Korea. High hopper. Third baseman fields, fires, rough throw, but still time to make the play. First baseman and Pruitt applies the tag, and the inning is over. The first 3 batters to come to the plate score for South Korea. Through 1/2 inning, South Korea 3, Greensboro, North Carolina coming to bat when we come back. You're watching the 2016 Colt World Series on MTC Sports. Absolutely gorgeous day here in Lafayette, Indiana. Greg Rakestraw, Sean Walker with you at MTC Sports. Let's show you the defensive alignment for Seoul, South Korea. In the outfield, Hong, Shun, and Sim. Jung, Lee, Bak, and Han in the infield. Kwon, the catcher. And the pitcher today is Ho-Jian Lee, with the starting pitcher for South Korea. Already spotted to a 3-run advantage here. The Greensboro batters showing their degree of difficulty. Lineups for Greensboro. Jacob Edwards will lead things off, the pitcher, so no DH being used by Greensboro. Zente and Bartley after that. Neese, Smith, Pruitt, Smith, Bledsoe, and Pegram for Greensboro, North Carolina.
That's not a typo right there. That is Landon Smith and Landon Smith. E&O. And I looked last night at their player bios. They attend different schools and are from different cities, so they're not twins. It's not some evil thing their parents did to them. It's just that's got to be a nightmare for Coach Holmes.
You refer to them as E&O, the different letters in their name?
You pretty much have to.
So Lee on the mound. Greensboro, by way of making it to the championship game a year ago, ended up getting the bye in this tournament. And last year they lost on Friday and literally had to play their way back through, and even had to play twice on the final day. They got a little bit of the advantage of the draw this year, but they are in danger of being 2 and out. There is a consolation game tomorrow afternoon at 2:30. But if you get a bye, you're kind of taken out of the possibility of getting a consolation game. Those two teams are set for that game. That would be the Central Michigan Stars and the Czech Republic. They'll play at 2:30 tomorrow to wrap up their tournament. And a pair of elimination games at 5 and 7:30 tomorrow. First pitch, knee high, in for a strike. This is Jacob Edwards, and one of the returning members of last year's runner-up team from Greensboro. And this is an answer as I talk about where these young men want to attend college and things like that, that you're going to be suddenly hearing a school that you didn't hear of previously. When asked where he wants to attend college, Jacob says Coastal Carolina. The brand spanking new NCAA collegiate baseball champions, the Chanticleers from the Myrtle Beach area. This one low in the dirt, 2-1 the count. Edwards says his favorite team, the Yankees, but Kevin Pillar, the center fielder of the Blue Jays, his favorite player. Of course, it's been a busy weekend in terms of Yankees news. Mark Teixeira announced his retirement on Friday, and Alex Rodriguez says he will play in his final game as a Yankee this coming Friday and then step away from the game. Up the middle, shortstop, can't make the diving play. Leadoff single for the pitcher and Edwards.
How much do you think that was forced with the A-Rod situation there?
There's been a lot of things forced with A-Rod over the last decade or so.
Yeah.
He still is under contract for the rest of this year and next year. And the term special advisor is being used as far as filling out the rest of that contract. A-Rod batting .204 this season. Another Yankees fan to the plate. Here's Tommy Zente, third baseman.
Had a necklace on or something there that they're forcing the pitcher to take off.
Can't have any distractions out there when you're the pitcher.
Hopefully that's not like a good luck charm or something for the pitcher. You know, these superstitious baseball players these days, you never know.
Zente 2 for 2 yesterday, a pair of singles. Drove home 2 runs as well.
Yeah, he's looked really good in the tournament. Obviously just the one game in so far, but he played well and made some defensive plays out there yesterday. It was one of the bright spots in Greensboro's game.
Zente says his favorite player, Chris Bryant of the Chicago Cubs. Round ball foul, 1-1 the count.
That game last night, Greensboro did a pretty good job of hanging around in that game. They couldn't ever get over the hump. It seemed like every time they got within 1 of Mexico, Mexico scored at least another run to keep it at 2, and then a big base-clearing triple from Hugo Sanchez that pretty much sealed the fate of Greensboro.
Tommy and Edwards are both teammates at Southwest Guilford High School, which is in High Point, North Carolina, next community over from Greensboro.
Actually did an interview here with Peter Ripke, former Lafayette Jeff Bronco that attends High Point College. He's a pitcher on the staff.
It's in there for a strike.
He's here assisting the grounds crew this week.
1-2 the count. Do you know the major college basketball coach that is an alumnus of High Point University? Tubby Smith.
Okay.
Toss back and in plenty of time is Edwards.
I thought you said major.
No need for a dig at Tubby Smith. The man's had a solid collegiate coaching career.
Nah, he's been fine.
Has won a national championship at the University of Kentucky.
That's where the
dig
dig
comes
comes
in.
from,
Yeah, I
right.
get you. Not sure there's a cloud in the sky this morning. Curveball sent down the left field line. Left fielder drifting back, should have room, but cannot make the play. Lost it in the high sky. Runners will advance to second and third. At first base, Edwards couldn't drift all that far away with the play in front of him. That'll go down as a base hit, but that's a ball the left fielder frankly should have caught.
You see it lifted here, and it is high. The wind blowing back towards center, and I think he just kind of overplays this one. Goes back behind him. I'm with you. Might have lost that up in the sun as well.
That was Hong, the left fielder. The Greensboro trying to answer here in their half of the first inning.
So Zente, even though he gets a little aid from the left fielder there, he continues his hot hitting streak, now 3 for 3 in the tournament.
So Bartley, the catcher at the plate. First pitch swinging. This one popped up. And this one almost handcuffs the shortstop. It was in fair territory. Catch was made for out number one. That is Lee that makes the play behind the third base bag. One down, and of all the places that Bartley could have put a ball, you saw the infield playing back. If he puts it on the ground, they at least score a run, but a pop-up does them no good. One down.
This little bit of swirling wind above the stadium seems to be causing some havoc on those fly balls for these South Korea defenders.
They're going to switch the right and left fielders. Is South Korea. That's the reason for the pause. Brief conversation between the acting head coach today and the home plate umpire.
Now batting, number 20, C.J. Neese.
So C.J. Neese, the shortstop, now at the plate. Neese yesterday 1 for 4. Couple of runs batted in. Had a triple yesterday. That's in for a strike.
Neese had an absolute shot to the gap that scored a couple of runs. The problem with it was he was running right behind Pruitt on the play, tried to follow him home, and he was a sitting duck at home plate.
CJ says he's a Braves fan. That's in for strike number 2. And lists Josh Harrison as his favorite player. Josh plays for the Pirates, but is a native of the Cincinnati area. Catcher was setting up outside corner. Third baseman or pitcher didn't like what he saw at third base. Had a quick glance at the lead runner at Edwards. Infielders in at the corners. A little further back up the middle. 1-2.
That's a good 0-2 pitch, though. You see if you can get the batter to chase something outside, something he can't hit.
Landon Smith on deck. And this one broke enough where it did not hit the batter. You almost assuming that ball was headed towards Neese. That was going to be a free bag. It didn't touch him. 2-2.
It's one where you head back to the dugout, your teammates going, what are you doing? Wear that one. That's a break. That doesn't hurt. Take that one.
Just underway here at Loeb Stadium. Elimination game in the Colt World Series. Ground ball, and that hops over the third baseman. 1 run will score. They're going to hold the runner at third. Throw comes home. Runner going to try to advance behind the play. The catcher will simply let him have the bag. He's worried about the runner at third. So a single and an RBI for C.J. Neese, and Greensboro quickly on the board.
C.J. doesn't get hit by the pitch. Instead, he hits the next one here into left field. Nice job realizing the situation on the base running. Tries to bait the catcher into a throw. He does not do it, so he takes second base.
Each team now with 3 hits in their half of the first inning. So here is Landon Smith. Landen, Smith.
Landon got the start on the mound last night. Pitched pretty well against that squad from Mexico.
Swing and a miss. He'll be a senior in high school this year. He hopes to stay at home and attend UNC Greensboro after his senior year. A little slapper foul, 0-2. Says the Braves his favorite team. But Clayton Kershaw his favorite player. Carolina's very much traditionally Braves country.
Yeah, you know, and baseball is one of those sports too where you may have a favorite team, but your favorite player may be on another team. You don't see that a lot in basketball typically, or football. If you like a team, you like the player from that team, they're your favorite.
Landon lists his hometown as Archdale, North Carolina. This one gets by the catcher, and that one should score a run. Makes it 3-2.
Greensboro, a bit of a wild pitch right here, able to come home and advance the runners. A tying run now just 60 feet away, or 90 feet away, excuse me, down there on the third base side.
Again, for Korea, this being their third game in as many days, you would think they might be further down the pitching depth chart a little bit. And misses outside, full count. First four batters are able to reach for South Korea. Greensboro has answered with 3 of the 4 reaching. This batter number 5 of the inning. A little flare to center field.
That could be trouble.
Catch is made. Tag home is made, and throw up the line will not be a problem. We are quickly tied at 3 with 2 outs in the bottom half of the first.
Something you hear a lot in sports anymore is just do your job. And that's exactly what he does here. Hits it deep enough for a sac fly, score that tying run, give him the RBI. That one, when it first took off the bat, looked like it was tailing towards the gap. It stayed up long enough for the center fielder to camp out underneath it, but North Carolina does a good job responding here.
Here's Jalen Pruitt. He's back from a season ago. He'll be a senior at Dudley High School in Greensboro. Says his favorite team, the Mets. Jose Reyes, his favorite player. That's in for a strike. Pruitt yesterday was 1 for 4 with a run scored. Off the hand, shortstop, tries to backhand it, throws across the diamond, will not be close. And an error on the shortstop.
That's why you run hard. You see Jalen Pruitt flying down the line. You never know what's going to happen. He really did. You said it. He fought it off of his hands, still put a pretty good charge into it down the shortstop.
So Landon Smith to the plate. Yet again. He attends Eastern Randolph High School, Liberty, North Carolina. Good lead for Pruitt over at first. Strike called. So on the screen that Landon lists Bryce Harper as his favorite player. He says the Nationals his favorite team. 1-1.
Shot by the catcher, keeping that one in front of him. Yeah, I think yesterday with South Korea, even more than the offensive game they had going, their defense was very tough. Turned a couple of double plays. You saw their third baseman's very talented defensively. That's what they need.
Runner goes. Throw down to second base, not in time. Stolen base by Pruitt.
Pruitt showing off the wheels. There on the steal, able to get himself into scoring position here for North Carolina. Greensboro trying to add one more and take the lead here in the bottom of the first. You got a hitter's count coming up here too.
Bullpen activity starting to get underway for South Korea. Flare to right field. Right fielder drifting back, makes the catch, and the inning comes to an end. South Korea puts up 3 in their half of the first. Greensboro able to answer. To the second inning we go on MTC Sports.
Oh, come on, everybody. I think this is my grandson.
Little girl, you look so
Oh, my goodness.
I see you are feeling blue. Come on over to my place. Hey girl, we're having a party. We'll be singing, dancing and singing. Come on over tonight.
Back at Loeb Stadium, Greg Rakestraw, Sean Walker with you on MTC Sports. 3-3 after 1 inning of play. And wind is blowing out today. That is kind of the trade-off, if you will. You're not digging that if you're a pitcher, but what you are digging is the much cooler conditions to pitch in today.
Yeah, absolutely. And that wind starting to pick up out there. Those flags blowing out dead to left, and that's why one reason why we saw so many home runs yesterday. But the thing in this tournament that stands out to me, honestly, are the big first innings. It seems we even had a 45-minute first inning last night just because the offense just in tune right away for these teams.
Dong-Min Kim, the designated hitter for South Korea at the plate. Edwards started the first batter off with 3 straight balls in inning number 1. He's behind 2-0 here.
And I think, honestly, what's attributing to that, Greg, is the fact that we've seen solid pitching. We haven't seen dominant pitching. We haven't seen that hard thrower with great, a great second pitch that's come in and just mowed down batters.
And those were 4 pitches not close to the zone. That one gets away from the catcher, but not far enough for the DH and Kim to think about making the turn towards second. That is the first walk given up by a pitcher today.
Now batting, the first baseman, number 2, Jamin Hahn.
Number 8 batter to the plate now. Quick throw back to first. They got him.
Oh, no, he dropped the ball.
He dropped the ball. Ruled to be safe.
Boy, Pruitt hangs on to that. They had him leaning. He was a sitting duck over there. That was a nice pickoff move.
Jamin Hahn, the batter at the plate. Throw back. And again, if Pruitt hangs on, then he's safe. There you go. That's the right call by the umpire. Tag was applied. He saw the tag. Could not see that the ball was out. And now a substantially smaller lead at first base for the DH in Kim. Here's the first baseman. Ground ball foul. Count it 0-2. On so far in the tournament, 3 for 6. That's strike 3. Absolutely a perfect pitch, and I don't think Hahn was thinking he was going to see an off-speed pitch in the strike zone at an 0-2 count.
Backwards K in the scorecard, and seen it there. That one just kind of fell off the table. Beautiful pitch by Edwards.
Jun-Young Bak, second baseman out of the plate. This completes one trip through the lineup for South Korea.
I would call that a very, very modest lead over at first base now for Kim after he almost got picked off a moment ago.
Bak 1 for 7 so far here in the tournament. And normally when we say a runner is leaning, that means he's leaning towards the base he's going to. After nearly being picked off, Kim is leaning back towards first base as he leads away from the bag. This one sails high, 2-0. Edwards tosses back to first base. Again, with that short of a lead, that's a wasted toss back to first base. Maybe you're just doing that to see if the runner's going to, or the batter's going to show a bunt signal there at 2-0.
Yeah, for me, it's not worth the throw with all the real estate over there in foul territory. We've seen balls get by the first baseman. The runner not only gets second, he gets third.
3-0 the count. And again, bunt is flash just because you're taking all the way. 3-1. He might get the take signal here again at 3-1. He did. That misses high. So again, multiple runners on the base pass, and yet another half inning.
Nice patience at the plate by these South Korean hitters. Really working the count.
Jae-Ho Shin now at the plate. Tripled to right center in his first plate appearance, would come around to score. Joe's bunt, that's in for a strike. Curveball, a beauty. Strike 2. And so Edwards has literally oscillated from struggling to find the zone to then getting ahead of the hitters. And he'll throw back to first.
Again, I don't like it. You got a runner in front of him out there at second. Don't waste or give an opportunity to throw the ball away. Right now you've got a double play situation out there. You need to try to induce a ground ball.
Swing and a miss. And Pruitt kind of took that choice away from him after he threw over to first, because as soon as he threw the ball over, he played behind the runner at first. Strikeout number 2 this inning.
Walk, strikeout, walk, strikeout.
Yep. Yu-Min Lee now at the plate. They throw behind the runner here, and out is the call. Tag applied, out is the call. Inning is over. Well, Lee will be back at the plate to start the third inning, but a 0 goes on the board for the first time in this elimination game. Greensboro comes to bat when we come back on MTC Sports.
Pony baseball began in the summer of 1951 with the organization of the original Pony League in Washington, Pennsylvania. The league was originally designed to help transition 13 and 14-year-old players from the Little League Diamond to the regulation-sized Diamond. Today, more than 500,000 players participate in the Pony organization annually in the United States and in more than 25 countries around the world. For more information on Pony baseball, go to pony.org. Don't miss Pony baseball for the world. Pure baseball, pure pony.
Look back at the throw behind the runner at first. And the out call given. Pruitt applying the tag. Bach deemed to be out 2-3. 8, 9, and 1 coming up this time through for Greensboro, North Carolina. Bledsoe to lead things off for Greensboro.
Bledsoe still looking for his first hit in the tournament. If you're a Greensboro fan, you'd love to see him get it right here and work himself on base.
You have the tents that you see here in the stands on these afternoon games of the Colt World Series. Frankly, today's one of those few days you don't need them. As it is that beautiful of a day.
Leading off for North Carolina in the bottom of the second baseman, number 13, Brandon Bledsoe.
Look out left center field. I mean, shifting around a little bit, kind of blowing out towards center. We've seen extra base hits, but nobody really threatened with one towards the wall at this point after multiple home runs a day ago. Bledsoe, a junior to be at Northern Guilford High School. This one, shallow right field. Second baseman over, can't get there as it gets into foul territory.
Boy, with the wind, Bow blew it back into fair territory. Good hustle out there by South Korean defenders.
And for the loser of this game, their tournament comes to an end. Winner of this game will play in our second game tomorrow. That misses 2-1.
The winner will finally get some rest. We'll put it that way. It has been quick turnarounds for some of these teams.
Second baseman fires and gets him by a step or two. And for the first time for either team, the leadoff man is retired as an out, one down.
A nice play heading towards center field. This first comes off the bat. It looks like it's going to be a base hit up the middle. But Bach does a good job of tracking this one down and wheeling and throwing.
Luke Pegram at the plate, starting center fielder. We have these, what we call talent bios, so to speak, questionnaires that the kids fill out. It's how you learn things, like when you see the graphic that says Luke says his favorite subject is lunch. But Luke also did a great job of, when asking how to pronounce his name, really kind of extending the E's so we knew it was a long E in Pegram.
Then he answered almost every question with Tom Brady,
which is not a good thing to do when you're in the state of Indiana. 0-2 the count. Although that is a common pronunciation of that last name here in this state, and you as an IU fan should know the tie-in there. The website Peegs.com, that is maybe the most popular Indiana University basketball website, is named that after founder Mike Pegram. 2-2 the count.
Now, do I completely embarrass myself and say I'd never even heard of the website? I'm going to have to check it out now. You're learning me up today.
Well, that happens every day. Perhaps an extra dose of it on Sunday. 2-2. And a swing and a miss. 2 down.
Nice pitch there from South Korea. Does a good job of just tying Pegram up. Gets a strikeout.
Pegram's looking for his first base hit here in Lafayette. First strikeout for the pitcher in Lee, and certainly it appears that both pitchers are starting to find a little more rhythm here in inning number 2. His opposite number, Edwards, now at the plate. And look out. He lost the handle on the bat. 1-1 the count. Tommy Zenti, the on-deck man. got a little bit of a scare.
We're teammates here. Put a little extra. Stick him on the hands here. Make sure he keeps a hold of that.
Edwards, like a lot of these guys, not going with batting gloves.
It must be is that a newer trend in baseball, I guess?
Yeah. Because in my playing days, it was double up all the time.
Oh, yeah. I had to have my wristbands on. That would look good, man.
And not an overly hot day. That shouldn't be an issue. Well, he found the right grip for this one, sending it to left field. Left fielder backing up, can't get it. This one will get to the wall. Edwards will have 2. He'll stop right there with the play in front of him. But the regrip worked just perfectly. Thank you. 2-out double for Edwards.
Back-to-back hits for him in the game here, trying to help his own cause. A single in the first, now a double here in the second. He put a good little charge on that one, going the opposite field.
That was after Edwards was 0 for 3 yesterday. I don't blame the left fielder for playing shallow there. He got leadoff hitter, lefty. You're more worried about that ball in front of you than him going opposite field and hitting it behind you.
Good news for Greensboro, though, is Tommy Zente's at the plate now, and he has not been retired yet.
Officially 3 for 3, doubled last time up. And this one out towards right center field. Right fielder on the run, makes the grab, and in the blink of an eye, the inning is over. Greensboro strands 1. We remain tied at 3 after 2. It's an elimination game in the 2016 Colt World Series at MTC Sports.
Construction projects mean deadlines. At McAllister Machinery and the Cat Rental Store, we understand the challenges our customers face. That's why our team of professionals are here to help. From our knowledgeable support staff to our industry-leading service department, McAllister Machinery and the Cat Rental Store are here to make sure you get the right equipment delivered on time. Whether it's Cat equipment, JLG lifts, or Solaire air compressors, we carry it all. McAllister Machinery and the Cat Rental Store, helping build Indiana since 1945.
Absolutely spectacular day here in Lafayette. Greg Rakestraw, Sean Walker with you on MTC Sports. 11 a.m. local time start for this first of 4 games today. Expect to see bigger crowds, though, as the day goes on. The 2 local teams both in action today, and Hoosier North being one of them that will be playing at what is scheduled to be a 1:30 start. They take on the South Texas Sluggers.
Local fans taking in some church this morning, maybe get a little lunch and then come to the ballpark.
2, 3, and 4. Lee, Jung, and Hong, the batters due up. Lee would reach on an error by the shortstop and would come around to score. He would score on the double steal with runners at first and third back in the first. And Edwards, kind of a familiar refrain. First batter each inning, he gets behind either 2-0, 3-0. It'll be 2-1 as he finds the outside and upper corner of the zone with that fastball. Three and 1. Lee lists the Dodgers as his favorite baseball team. That's in for a strike, 3 and 2. This one sent out towards right center. Center fielder drifting over. Can't get there. Right fielder will track it down in the gap. But it'll be a double. Second extra base hit of this game. Make it the third extra base hit of this game for Korea.
Well, that's a great piece of hitting right there, too. Way ahead in the count early on. As Edwards recovers and throws some strikes, he catches too much of the plate this time. And just a nice swing going the opposite way. We've seen quite a few hitters do that here today.
Sang-Hoo Jung now at the plate for Korea. Infielders in at both first and third, thinking the number 3 hitter might be putting down a bunt. Showed no signs of it there. They throw behind the runner at second. That's a play you will rarely make from behind home plate. Jung a single and a run scored last time up. And this one sent foul. Another quick glance back at the runner.
And not a bad idea there. No outs in the inning. Got to keep him honest here at second.
Runner goes. They'll throw to third. Tag, not in time. Better throw, they might have got him. Again, those runners are getting a great jump off of the pitcher in Edwards. And the middle infielders are really showing no inclination to hold the runner at second base.
I'll tell you, Barley behind the plate has a quick release, though. He really does. I mean, he gets that ball from his glove out quickly, but you're right. Better throw, he gets him.
It's in for a strike.
You know, for Lee down there on the base pass, that's a second steal of the game for him.
This one into center field. Drifting back, drifting back. This one keeps carrying. Catch is made. Good work by the center fielder to range back and grab that one in Pegram. However, more than enough to score the runner from third base. So that stolen base results in a run for South Korea, and they're back in front 4-3.
Yeah, that's exactly why you want to put yourself in those positions. You get speed up in the front part of the lineup. You get them on, able to steal a base, and then just like that, again, doing your job. That ball hit very deep to center field. Sac fly, RBI.
Seeing a lot of these young men put Dodgers as their favorite baseball team, and given the fact that Chan-Ho Park was kind of a pioneer for Korean baseball players to make it here in the States, that's not surprising. High pop fly. Center fielder has all kind of time to camp and grab this one. Hong retired for the second out.
When you say high, that was a Major League Baseball pop fly there.
Well, speaking of Major League Baseball, there are 8 Koreans currently playing in Major League Baseball. 5 of them rookies in Major League Baseball this year. Had a chance to watch Dae-Ho Lee in action for the Seattle Mariners against the Cubs last weekend. First, you've got Ryu, the pitcher for the Dodgers. He's been with them now for 4 years. Only Shin-Soo Choo is a longer tenured current major leaguer. He's been in the majors since 2005. 1-1 the count.
You know, baseball there for a few years, it took him a couple of years to recover from the strike-shortened season. Obviously, he had the home run chases there with McGuire and Sosa and Bonds through those years that kind of brought baseball back. And then a handful of years later, we had the steroid situation that's kind of killed the luster of the game.
That's rolled to be strike number 3. And so with that, we'll come back and finish that story in the bottom half of the third inning. South Korea able to get one in the top of the third. Greensboro trails by a run when we come back on MTC Sports.
Mexican restaurant is excited to announce new menu items to an already stacked lineup of authentic Mexican dishes. Everything from tossed greens with fruit to a Pepe-style chicken pizza. For you seafood lovers, try the shrimp tacos. For my personal favorite is the barbacoa taco dinner. Whether it's a new menu item or one of our signature selections, be sure to wash it down with a tasty beverage. Whatever your flavor, make Pepe's your stop for lunch or dinner. Located on Sagamore Parkway in the mall parking lot, Lafayette.
Not a cloud in the sky here in Lafayette, Indiana on this Sunday morning. About to turn into a Sunday afternoon. Some of the fans of Korea, their team up 4-3.
Greg, before the break, we were talking about the popularity of baseball and how it's kind of been in these ebbs and flows as things happen. The strike kind of killed the popularity. You had the home run chase that brought it back. Then the steroid era kind of killed it again. And you're starting to see it gain interest and momentum. You know, I'm not a Cubs fan, but it's awesome for Cubs fans that they're starting to compete and be a team that people think can win a World Series. You know, you've got the international feel to it. You talked about the Korean players and the rookies, you know, that are out there this season. You've got it growing in areas like Aruba, obviously in the youth programs that are coming up. They have a team representing here in the Colt World Series this season. It's pretty awesome. And even the younger kids here and the popularity in the States again, starting to see more players get back into baseball.
So Bartley will lead things off for Greensboro, North Carolina. 3, 4, and 5 coming up this time through.
I hate to use the word quirky with Bartley, but he's a baseball player. You can tell, and it's fun because you'll see if the pitcher throws him a good pitch that he doesn't swing at or he swings and misses, you'll see him smile and kind of acknowledge and give him a nod like you got me, and constantly chatting it up with other players out there.
First pitch swinging, hopper to third base, should have time, fires over. Good looking throw from the third baseman in Jung, and there's one down.
Jung again defensively had some web gems yesterday. You see him fielding his position perfectly here. And this South Korea team seems unfazed by the infield hops that they get here at Loeb Stadium. They've played them well. We've seen some of those hops just gobble teams up over the course of this tournament.
Popped up. This one driven. Center field. Center fielder backing up, backing up, backing up. And eventually makes the grab. And had a lot more carry to it than I thought Nice first had. Again, that wind is certainly helping push that ball back. It is a long fly ball out, and there's two down.
Yeah, that is a 390-foot out. If he pulls that a little bit more, you've got a souvenir over there at the Frozen Custard.
I'll admit sometimes as broadcasters we're kind of looking down, checking notes and things like that. I was checking kind of not the baseball heritage, but the professional baseball kind of ties in Korea. The KBO League. Ground ball, second base, fires over to first. Got him by a step, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Greensboro in the home half of the third. I'll explain the connection between Lafayette and professional baseball in Korea when we come back here on MTC Sports.
Tecton Construction Management has been serving Central Indiana for over 25 years. Whether you have a renovation project or new construction, Tecton Construction Management can assist you from the initial idea through the completion of the project. Their trademark Tecton filtering system is designed to save you time and money, providing you with more value for your investment. Both the completion schedule and budget are established before ever breaking ground to solidify your peace of mind. Before you start your next project, call Tecton Construction Management. Always on time, always under budget.
How's it going? Nice to meet you guys. I have these two laptops. We're going to each download a TV show. I'm going to download it on Xfinity, and you guys are going to download it with AT&T Uverse. And we're going to see who goes faster. Go.
Well, this is a no-brainer so far.
How's AT&T doing?
Struggling.
I'm ready to go. We'll wait for you guys.
Looks like we're gonna be waiting for a while.
Don't let UVerse slow you down. Upgrade to an Xfinity X1 Triple Play from Comcast and save when you bundle. See for yourself. Call 1-800-XFINITY or visit Comcast.com today.
Some of the fans enjoying what is a cool day. See, when you're using that just to kind of blow your nose and not wipe the sweat off your brow, it's a good day at the ballpark.
It is. Especially when you're in August here. We got mild temperatures today. It feels great.
So for Korea, Shim, Kim, and Han. 6, 7, and 8 due up this inning. Right now the go-ahead run for South Korea. Lead-off double by Lee. Sacrifice fly to get him home last inning. And Edwards starts with strike number 1. Well, again, we're talking about the KBO League. 35 years as the professional league in South Korea. And each of those teams are allowed 3 foreign players on their rosters. And one of those players happens to be from right here in Lafayette. Josh Lindblom, that is from Harrison High School, played collegiately at Purdue. Chopper, the third baseman. Well done by Zente. Fires over to Pruitt, 1 down.
Yeah, nice job defensively by Zente to throw him out there, get him in time. And for Josh, obviously kind of a local hero around here too, has a nice foundation that gives back to people. And thanks to Darren Porter, let us know that his father-in-law is one of the assistant coaches here for the Lafayette All-Stars. So there's ties all the way around.
And Josh spent 4 years with 4 different teams in Major League Baseball. Dodgers, Phillies, Rangers, and A's, but has been playing for the Giants in South Korea for each of the last 2 seasons.
What a cool job. You know it? I mean, it really is. Maybe not necessarily where he wants to be, probably still wants to be in the majors, but it'd be pretty awesome, man, to just be able to kind of travel around and see the world playing the game that you grew up, playing. It's awesome.
Counted 0-2. This is the DH in Kim, who had a bases on balls last time he was up. Thought he was picked off at first, but Pruitt couldn't hold on to the ball on the tag. Would be stranded at second back in the second inning. Swing and a miss. That's in the dirt. And no advance or attempt to advance to first base by the runner. And there's 2 down.
Bartley's like a wall back there behind home plate. I mean, not much gets by him, that's for sure. Does a good job of dropping down in the field, and even though that one got loose, able to just stand up and apply the tag.
Swing and a miss. So 4 strikeouts now for Edwards. Overthrows that one, 1-1 the count. First one he had of the game was to Han in the second inning. Got him looking on a curveball on an 0-2 count.
Fooled him on that one too. And Han knows it. I mean, he had him pulled way out, twisted up in a knot that time.
Stay alive swing, sends this one foul. And Han with a lot of gear at home plate. He's got the elbow brace for the left elbow. He's got the shin protector for the left leg. Quite colorful with the Biggio/Bonds armor that he's wearing on that left elbow.
Yesterday noticed with Han too that you take a look at the left leg, he's actually got both socks showing. Yesterday that left pant leg was down.
This should be caught. First baseman drips over, makes the play, and that is the end of the inning. All of a sudden, 6 consecutive batters retired now for Edwards in Greensboro. To the bottom of the 4th we go. 4-3 South Korea maintains their lead here on MTC Sports.
Wouldn't it be sweet to happily live a life that's filled with glee and sing about how joyful it can be?
I'd like to hear that.
Live life to its fullest every day with the highest level of primary care from Indiana University Health.
When you have your health, you have everything.
Indiana University Health. Schedule same-day primary care appointments at 1-888-IU-HEALTH.
50 came from Vader removed it was. His wallet. Smile it did. Ooh. At our Dente Dental.
Fans enjoying some shade down the first base line here at Loeb Stadium. That was seeing a new pitcher on the mound for Seoul, South Korea. Yoon-Ki Lee will be the pitcher. He has made one appearance, technically worked a third of an inning, but faced 6 batters through 27 pitches. Allowed 5 runs in his appearance. 19 balls and 8 strikes. Gave up 1 hit, but walked 3 in his previous appearance for South Korea.
A little bit of a different delivery than what North Carolina's seen so far. A little sidewinder action.
Some of the players for Hoosier North awaiting their next game. Hoosier North thumped the Czech Republic in 5 innings on Friday. And were beaten by Aruba yesterday. Aruba plays in the 4 o'clock game today that you'll have along with Chris Walker here on MTC Sports.
You know, Aruba really took it to Hoosier North, but in all honesty, Hoosier North beat themselves in that game. A lot of errors, opportunities with 2 outs to get out of innings, and just lack of hustle on a few plays. So expect them to be a little more inspired when they come in today. We saw a spirited head coach in Aviles yesterday, about halfway through that game.
So Jalen Pruitt will be the first batter to get a look at Yoon-Ki Lee for South Korea. Pruitt reached an error by the shortstop and stole a base in his previous plate appearance. For the previous pitcher, Ho-Jeon Lee, with 3 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, all earned, with a strikeout. The first pitch to Pruitt is a ball.
Pruitt still trying to find his rhythm at the plate here in the tournament. 1 for 5 overall so far.
2-0. Jalen says he wants to be a physical therapist when he's done with his college days and hopes to attend University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. And I say it that way for 2 reasons. First, Greensboro is the home of another University of North Carolina branch. That is always the way that Jeff Saturday would say it, formerly of the Indianapolis Colts, being an alumnus of that specific location of the University of North Carolina. This one down the line, that's a fair ball, well picked by the third baseman. Better throw to get him. That is tremendous. Jung at third base rockets that one over to first, 1 down.
I've talked already in this game about him defensively, and I'll tell you, he made a play yesterday that was just symbolic of what you would see from Manny Machado of the Orioles, diving into taking the ball fair, in and up in foul territory, standing up and throwing a rocket across the diamond to get the runner. And you get another look at this one here, just a quick backhand. Watch this major league throw. Plenty of time. And Pruitt is fleet of foot.
So Landon Smith now at the plate. That does hit the inside corner. That's going to take kind of a time for the lineup for the Greensboro batters to adjust to what they're seeing. Smith, a fly ball to right field, his last plate appearance. His favorite baseball player, Bryce Harper. Favorite other athlete is Steph Curry. I'm sure that's a very common answer these days.
It really is.
But these young men may have had a chance to watch him play his college basketball. And Steph played at Davidson College in Charlotte, a couple hours away from Greensboro. This one, driven into left center field. Center fielder backing up. Has a beat on it, makes the catch a couple of strides in front of the warning track. And there's 2 down.
Well, we've seen some deep fly balls towards center field today.
One thing I'll say is this, Sean, is that the outfielders do a pretty good job here of playing to where the dimension should be for kids their age. They don't just kind of line up based on where the fence is. And so there is a lot of room that is behind the guys in the outfield.
Absolutely. We saw it yesterday, one that was hitting the gap, and we saw the left fielder reaching out, trying to make sure he wasn't going to run into the wall. Nice
Diving
play.
effort by the left fielder. That's 3 outstanding defensive plays in 1 inning for Seoul, South Korea. And the last 7 batters in a row have now been retired by South Korean pitching. Bledsoe got robbed on this one from the left fielder in Hong. We're back for the top of the 5th next on MTC Sports.
That was one that was
Since 1969, Haley's Lock, Safe, and Key has provided expertise and solutions when dealing with residential or commercial security needs. Whether you're looking for a safe, seeking access solutions, or in need of automotive keys, nobody can serve you better than Haley's.
One-on-one service and simply the best solutions. We've been providing it daily for more than 40 years.
Haley's Lock, Safe, and Keys. Call, visit, or find us online. 2 locations, Crawfordsville and Lafayette.
We love to see you here at the Farmers Bank. However, we know there are times you need to bank on your schedule, wherever you may be. With the Farmers Bank mobile banking app, you can check balances, transfer funds, pay bills, and now you can also securely deposit checks with your smartphone by simply taking a picture of the check. Download our mobile banking app today. The Farmers Bank, your local bank, your mobile bank, your bank for life.
South Korea in the top of the 5th, number 3, Jun-Young Park.
Gorgeous day, regardless of what your activity might be. For us, it's a little baseball here on MTC Sports. 6 of the 7 runs scored came in the first inning. It's been much more of a pitching and defensive battle since that time. Right now, a double from Lee in the top of the 3rd is what is providing the difference in this one. 9-1 and 2. We'll see Lee coming up in number 3 position in this inning. Bach, the second baseman, up this time around. Count it 1 and 2. That just misses off the corner, 2 and 2. But a good job by each of the 2 starting pitchers after rugged first innings. They both really kind of picked up their level of performance, say innings 2 through 4.
Yeah, they have. The pace of the game has gotten moving along here, which is something that we did not see yesterday in any of the game. It seemed like the game just played forever.
And Edwards didn't get the corner on that one. That ball broke just a little bit late to get that outside corner. He's gone from 0-2 to 3-2. And not close. And he loses the leadoff man. First 3 innings, South Korea got their leadoff man aboard. In 2 of those occasions, they scored. Here comes the top of the lineup now, and Jae-ho Shin for South Korea.
Yeah, next 3 batters for South Korea are the ones that have really caused the damage here today. It's a crucial situation here for Jacob Edwards and the Greensboro team.
You got to wonder, even with Shin with a triple earlier, if they're thinking about putting a bunt down to move the runner in scoring position. Third baseman in on the grass, and Zente for Greensboro. No sign of a bunt there. He was taken all the way. Strike called. Shin struck out for the second out of the inning in inning number 2.
For me, the perfect place to put this bunt right now, in my opinion, would be right down the first baseline. Just enough, make the pitcher come try to make the play. He's a left-hander, so he's going to have to contort his body back to get that throw on to first. You got the first baseman holding the runner on right now.
And winner of this game plays tomorrow night at 7:30. The losers tournament is over with. No activity in the Greensboro bullpen. There has been constant activity in the South Korea bullpen today. They're already on pitcher number 2. That one gets away from the catcher. Slipped out of the hands of Edwards and slipped out of the glove of Bartley. There's a free 90 feet for South Korea.
That looked like he lost the grip on that release there. Unable to snow cone it. You go from a double play situation that you're looking for to now a runner in scoring position for South Korea.
This is the third trip through the lineup now for South Korea. And Edwards has intermittently had issues with finding the zone today.
If you look right now, everything's high, though. Here in the fifth inning, what happens when you start to get tired is you start to stand up or trying to overcompensate, and he's just trying to find a comfortable release point right now. You can tell he's out of rhythm. No.
Here comes the visit from the dugout. So Lee to the plate, and Lee has reached base both times, and he has scored a pair of runs for South Korea today. Some important moments in this game right now. They're going to go ahead and make a pitching change. So it appears the shortstop is going to come in to pitch for Greensboro, that being C.J. Neese. Edwards will head into the dugout temporarily. For Greensboro, Clay Dilday will head into the game and play shortstop. It looks like Edwards could be staying in the game and heading out to the outfield. As the right fielder appears to be making the slow walk in towards the dugout here. So again, we have seen Neese in this game as the shortstop. He is 1 for 2 from a batting standpoint, making his debut on the mound for the team in the tournament here.
I think this is a good move for Coach Holmes. Edwards has done a nice job in this game, only allowing the 4 hits, but you can just see it here recently, starting to struggle, everything missing high. That's usually a real good sign of fatigue. You're in a 1-run game right now, so this is a crucial change. Good moment here for Neese to come in and try to get him out of this jam in the inning.
Yeah, this is the go-home moment of the tournament. So Edwards will stay in the game and move to right. And so the player that is leaving the game is Landon Smith in right field.
Right field, number 4, Jacob Edwards. Entering the game in the 7th spot. At shortstop, number 14, Clayton Dilday. Now on the mound, number 20, C.J.
So Clay Dilday will hit in the number 7 position, which will be maybe an inning or so before that position rolls around for Greensboro. So the first batter that Neese will face, the number 2 hitter in Lee. He doubled his last time up. And we have seen the players from Korea do a great job of sending that ball to the right center field gap. They have had no problem hitting behind the ball here today.
Say whatever you want to about yesterday and the illegal bats in that situation, and playing even in the first game with them. They're playing with authorized bats in this game, and they are hitting the ball well.
Runner going to try to advance. Ball in the dirt, and the catcher really wasn't thinking he was going to try to get those extra bases, and he did. So now an insurance run some 90 feet away on that ball in the dirt. Again, Korea continues to be very aggressive on the base pass today.
That's one of the few times I've seen Bartley be kind of lackadaisical, but I think it's surprising that they took off there and didn't get that far away from him.
And now they will throw down to second and don't get the runner there. Ball gets behind the shortstop. Runner will come in to score from third. That aggression rewarded for South Korea. Their lead grows to 5-3.
So error on the throw there from the catcher. And for South Korea, when you can find a way to manufacture runs off of walks, you'll take it any day of the week.
Ball hit towards second base. Little liner. Out number one, no advance of the runner, one down.
Now batting, number 6.
The third baseman in Jung to the plate. We have certainly complimented his defensive work down the third base line today. But he has an RBI as well. Officially 1 for 1 because he's a sacrifice fly and a run scored. Ground ball foul. Just turns before it gets to the bag.
It was about 6 inches away from being a perfect hit.
Even with the bag at both first and third, Greensboro. And second baseman holding the runner on a little bit closer than they have been. That one fouled straight back, and the count at 1-2. And this one gets to left field for a base hit. They're going to give the run of the wave around. That'll stop him. Left fielder able to get it quickly. That being Landon Smith. Runners in the corners now. And it is a 2-hit day for Jung.
Perfect place there between the 5 and 6 hole. Showcase nice piece of hitting here for South Korea. And this is a team that, in my opinion, has done a really good job of taking whatever is being given to them. You walk them, they find a way to move themselves around. You might shift the defense or try to play them up the middle for a double play ball, and they'll hit it in the gap.
Rock-Hyun Hwang now to the plate for South Korea. Double and a fly ball to center field in his 2 plate appearances.
Already with 5 RBIs in the tournament, an opportunity to get another one here.
Curveball in for a strike. Hong had the tremendous defensive play on the sliding catch last inning. That misses off the corner, 1-2 the count. Runner goes, line drive, base hit.
What a hit.
Runner will score from third to make it a 3-run lead. They're going to give the run of the wave around. That ball got down to the left field corner. That is a stand-up double. That clears the bases. 7-3 South Korea.
Team lead, 5 RBIs before that swing. He's got 7 now as he drives into second double of the game.
And South Korea now having played 3 games. They've played more than anybody else here in the tournament, but it's more than just sheer volume of games as to why their offensive numbers are the best so far here in Lafayette.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who's been pitching for the opposing team. They've done a really nice job of manufacturing runs. And they've showcased a little bit of everything. They've gone small ball. They've shown you they can go station to station. Had a couple of home runs yesterday.
Kwon at the plate now for South Korea. Swing and a miss. Again, runner tries to advance. They throw down. They miss him on the tag. Dive for the bag. Couldn't get back there in time. And the out is recorded. And it turns into a strike him out, throw him out double play, as that was strike number 3 on Kwon. South Korea tacks on 3 more runs to their lead. It is 7-3 going to the bottom half of inning number 5 as you're watching the 2016 Colt World Series here on MTC Sports.
All the highlights.
All the breakdowns.
All the games.
All the analysis. All the live look-ins.
MLB Tonight.
Bringing you closer to the game.
All the time.
All the time. All the time.
All the time. MLB Tonight, every night.
Only on MLB Network.
I'm on top of the world, now I'm living. And the good just gets better, keeps it giving. Not even close to the end, it's just beginning. Life is getting lighter while the days are getting brighter, yeah.
An early start to our day here at the Colt World Series in Lafayette. Greg Rakestraw, Sean Walker with you at MTC Sports. It's okay, the sports world has had a busy day already. It's not even 12:30 local time yet. Alex Rodriguez announced that he'd play his final game with the Yankees coming up on Friday. It is the second full day of competition at the Olympics, so they have been going for a while this morning. And just now on the PGA Tour, Jim Furyk shot the first ever 58 in a PGA official round at the Travelers Championship in Hartford. If I told you, Sean, you'd be shooting a 58, what hole would you be on your 58th shot?
Probably.
The peanut gallery is ranging from 3 to 7 somewhere.
13.
13, you think?
Somewhere in 13.
Did you tee off on 10?
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm a pretty decent golfer. Contrary to popular belief around here, I'm not too bad.
Well, they assume that you work so hard because you're always broadcasting these games that you don't have time to work on your golf game, I think is the assumption.
Well, here's the truth to that is I'm always working on these games. So what happens is, as you see the strike, what happens is you gain weight sitting and calling games like this, and so the only sport you can participate in is golf.
Pinch hitter in for Greensboro, North Carolina. It is Mason Chu. He is batting in Luke Pegram's spot. Chu facing Yoon-Ki Lee, who got 3 outs in his 3 batters faced last time up. So Chu's first plate appearance of the game, and count is in his favor now at 2-1.
This game eerily has that feel of the game last night that Greensboro participated in, able to keep it close for quite some time. And then a big inning late from Mexico kind of broadened that lead. The final was 8-4. We're sitting at 7-3 right here.
Mason attends Southwest Guilford High School. That's in for a strike. Count at full 3-2. When asked what he wants to be when he grows up, his response was a bullpen catcher. Got to appreciate a sense of humor.
Love it.
This one, shallow right. Right fielder has a play on it. And Chu retired for the first out of the inning. And last trip to the lineup for Greensboro, there was a leadoff double from Edwards, and then 8 consecutive outs since that time.
Yeah, you see him go opposite way, which is right, but right at the right fielder.
So here is Edwards, who began the game on the mound, now the right fielder. That's in for a strike. After 3 runs in the first 4 batters to come to the plate for Greensboro. Haven't scored innings 2 through 4, and here we are in the home half of the 5th.
You know, something else for Edwards. Had an at bat in the first inning, had an at bat in the second inning, sitting 2 for 2 on the day. But his third at bat not coming till the bottom of the 5th. That shows you how things have changed over the course of this game.
And this one sprayed foul. 2-2. First and third baseman playing even with the bag. Ground ball, second baseman. Bobbles, and Edwards is going to reach again.
That's one of the few errors we've seen made by the South Korean defense. That one stayed down. He was expecting it to hop up right through the wickets.
Now batting, number 5, Tommy Zente.
There was an error on the shortstop back in the first. So that's error number 2 committed by South Korea today. If you're Greensboro, you need runners on in any way, shape, form, or fashion. You'll take the help. Again, that is their first base runner since the second inning. And it was Edwards who reached the last time. Zente, a line drive to right field in his previous plate appearance. Edwards draws the throw from Lee on the mound.
So plenty of baseball here for Greensboro to manufacture a comeback. But you got to take advantage of these opportunities here.
Got 8 outs to work with if you're Greensboro. And on the hand, swing and a miss by Zente. 1-1 the count.
You can get your leadoff hitter down to first base, and you got your best hitter so far in the tournament at the plate. These are the ones you got to take advantage of.
Zente says he hopes to attend UNC Wilmington when his high school days are done. Late decision to swing. Great play by the third baseman. We'll get the lead runner at second. Well, there has been little doubt who the best defensive player in this tournament so far has been. It is Jung, the third baseman for South Korea.
I'll tell you what, if some scouts are in the stands, they need to be looking at this kid. He is very good. Watch again. I mean, just anything hit his way, he gobbles up. And the arm's strong enough, even after the backward stab, to throw out the lead runner at second.
So here's Bartley, the catcher, who is 0 for 2 today. A potential rally killer right there. That's in for a strike. Bartley 2 for 4 a day ago. Asks for time and gets it.
So that wind starting to pick up again, really blowing out towards left field.
Swing and a miss, 0-2. Bartley says he's a Yankees fan and that the soon-to-be retired Mark Teixeira, his favorite player.
Another thing to point out is how small his handwriting is. I made a comment about it last night, trying to read that questionnaire.
Little flare into right center field. Right fielder gives chase. That'll get down for a base hit. Bartley will stop at first base. Runner makes the turn from first to third in Zente, and the inning continues now for Greensboro.
It was a nice job here, hitting this one into the gap, getting himself on base, and now C.J. Neese, who's coming to pitch, gets a chance to help his own cause here a little bit.
That is the first hit allowed by Lee in 7 batters faced. Pinch runner coming in here to replace Bartley. It'll be Logan Fields that will be now the runner at first base for the catcher in Bartley.
Yeah, we saw him make this move last night. 2 outs in the inning. You get your catcher off the base pass, get him in, let him rest up a little bit.
Have a quick conversation on the mound here. Going to bring everybody together. I think this is much more of kind of a defense conversation more than anything the pitcher's done wrong, because Yoonki Lee's been outstanding in his inning and 2/3 of relief work so far.
He really has, and I mean, that approach, that delivery out there is something that it takes a hitter a little bit to get used to. So I like the change that they made. And then, you know, the other thing, too, is there's a little bit of strategy in this, trying to allow your starting pitcher to only go so far. Therefore, he can turn around and pitch again tomorrow if you need him.
So Nisa single and an RBI back in the first, a fly ball to center field last time up. They'll hold the runner on at first base to keep pinch runner in fields honest. And that does get the inside corner, and bell tie for a strike.
Boy, I tell you, that's the one you got to turn on. Looking out there at the field right now, center fielder shaded towards right, looking for Nice to go opposite way with this, and there is a large gap between the left fielder and the center fielder.
This one hit hard, left field, gets down for a base hit. A run does score for Greensboro. They will hold the runner at second, and the play was in front of him. You got to get more than one run. You don't take chances. Greensboro on the board for the first time since the first inning. It's now a 3-run lead.
2 RBIs in the game for Nice. Having a nice tournament showing here at the Colt World Series. Just does his job once again. Gets the runner home, puts another one on the board for Greensboro.
Tying run now comes to the plate, and Landon Smith for Greensboro. Had a sacrifice fly earlier. This is off the corner, 1-0. Ground ball to second base for Smith his last time up. Comes over top of that one, 1-1.
Boy, keep your head down the barrel of the bat on that one. There it is.
Off the hands, right fielder coming in, charging in. No, ball hits the turf. 1 run will score. Runner goes from first to third. Tremendous effort in right field by Shim. Just could not get there in time. The inning continues, and the comeback continues as well. 7-5 the score now.
Don't look now. Here comes the Greensboro team from North Carolina. Starting to get some hits, spraying it all over the field. Look at this one, just enough. Little blooper towards right. Right fielder, you mentioned it. Great effort. Unable to come up with it, but he kept it in front of him. That's important, or you probably would have cleared the bases.
Both the first and second base umpires immediately signaled no catch. Good job by the umpiring crew there. Pruitt to the plate. He is 0 for 2 today. First pitch swinging. This will reach the seats. He becomes the plate this inning for Greensboro. This is absolutely what they had to have to get back into this game. South Korea put 3 on the board in the top of the 5th. Greensboro has gotten 2 of those right back.
Yeah, the other thing to point out, too, is this is a 2-out rally. They've done all this with 2 outs in the inning.
Little liner over the head of the shortstop into center field for a base hit. Make it 7-6. Making the turn from first to third is Landon Smith. Tying run now 90 feet away.
4 consecutive hits for Greensboro. And now right back in this game, only trailing by 1. Watch this one. Hit perfectly right over the outstretched arm of the shortstop into the gap.
And there will be a pitching change coming up here for South Korea. Well, it was all going so well for Yoon-Ki Lee. An error by the second baseman got the inning started. But after that, it was a great defensive play by the third baseman in Jung to limit the damage and have there be a runner at first with 2 outs. And since that time, 4 consecutive singles. And so the new pitcher for South Korea. Get him to you in just a couple of moments. Sung-san will be the pitcher for South Korea. Third pitcher of this game. This is his third appearance of the tournament. He has thrown 2 1/3 innings here at the tournament. 62 total pitches. He has faced 18 batters. He's allowed 6 earned runs.
Yeah, we've seen him take the mound, and he's struggled in the tournament a little bit. For him, you're hoping it's a change of fortunes. If you're a South Korean fan, if you're North Carolina, you're looking at this going, okay, we got one going here, and they're bringing in a gentleman on the mound that may not have the greatest of confidence right now. Let's keep this rolling.
Now, from a batting standpoint, this is the spot that Dilday was in for Greensboro in the shortstop spot, but Landon Smith, who was previously in right field, is going to re-enter this game to hit in this position. Smith 0 for 2, a pair of fly ball outs, 1 to right and 1 to center in his 2 previous plate appearances. Smith was 2 for 3 yesterday, so he's 2 for 5 for the tournament. The runner at third is the other Landon Smith. It's going to be, it looks like, a defensive change for South Korea as well. Kwon is going to move from behind home plate to first base. It appears that Han, the first baseman, will go back to being the catcher. Not sure if he's a little more familiar with Sung-san or not. So first baseman and catcher just simply switching positions.
We saw this in South Korea's game yesterday. Similar thing is when they made the change at the pitcher at about this time of the game, they went ahead and swapped catcher and first baseman as well.
And that has to be just kind of a comfort with the pitcher or knowledge of the pitcher. Not a heat-related issue on a day like today.
No, not at all.
Landon Smith at third base, Jalen Pruitt at first. And the other Landon Smith in the lineup getting ready to come to the plate.
When I got that yesterday, I honestly thought it was just a misprint from Coach, like he'd put the same player in the lineup twice, and started looking through the questionnaires and realized, no, there's 2 of them.
This Landon says he wants to attend NC State. His aspiration is to be a Major League Baseball player. Of course, NC State, a perennial NCAA tournament team in terms of baseball these days. Like a lot of the great programs in the Carolinas. So the 8th batter come to the plate this inning. Tying run at third base. Go ahead, run at first. And they got a runner picked off. Let's see if the runner tries to advance from third to home. They're running him down. Now they throw behind the runner. Tag applied, and they got him.
That's just an absolute mistake and a comeback killer there for Greensboro.
So 1-3-5 is how the out is recorded. Landon Smith waited for a while. Basically, the runner had almost gotten to second and Pruitt at that point. Smith ventured off the bag far enough, and the inning is over. So Greensboro scores 3. It could have been more. And after 5, South Korea now leads at 7-6 on MTC Sports.
Would like to think of myself as being a specialist in farm insurance because that's what I use as a farmer, is insurance. Crop insurance. I know the importance of carrying high limits of liability. Price is important. It's got to be affordable. it's got to be a main part of my operation and operating costs, because I can't afford to have a loss without coverage.
Pony baseball began in the summer of 1951 with the organization of the original Pony League in Washington, Pennsylvania. The league was originally designed to help transition 13 and 14-year-old players from the Little League Diamond to the regulation-sized Diamond. Today, more than 500,000 players participate in the Pony organization annually in the United States and in more than 25 countries around the world. For more information on pony baseball, go to pony.org. Don't miss pony baseball for the world. Pure baseball, pure pony.
7-6 the score. South Korea maintaining their lead. They have never trailed in today's game. A couple of defensive substitutions or defensive switches for Greensboro. The previous catcher in Bartley will go out to play first base as he re-enters the game. Pruitt will move from first to shortstop. And then the catcher will be Smith. So Smith, who re-entered the game, had been playing in right field, now will catch here in the sixth inning.
Well, I'll tell you, Greg, if Greensboro, if I could say it, if their tournament ends here today, if they can't complete a comeback in this game, you've got to look at yourself sometimes and just say, what could have been? You know, you allow a couple of leadoff walks in an inning, you get some throwing errors and allow South Korea to score without even putting the ball in play. You get 4 straight hits in an inning where you've got a 2-out rally going, and your base runners kind of fall asleep out there, and you end up in a picked-off situation when the tying run is 90 feet away.
So Shim now at the plate, 6, 7, and 8 coming up this time through. He's had a pair of ground balls to third base in his previous plate appearance. This is the 5th batter that Nice, the reliever, has faced in this game. And this one down the third base line yet again. This one, though, gets past Zenti, get all the way to the wall. Shim into second base with a leadoff double.
Well, he loves going that direction. Zente's been able to put him out twice in this game. He goes right down the line this time for the double.
3 hits and 5 batters faced for Nice. 2 of them now have been of extra base hit variety. And the DH and Kim at the plate. 1-0. That's in for a strike. 1-1. And next up, it's Hoosier North and South Texas in another elimination game. We've got all the action for you here on MTC Sports throughout the course of the week, all the way up until Wednesday night's championship game.
Yeah, this will be his 3rd straight day of 4 games each day.
Pace slows a little bit starting tomorrow. 3 games on Monday, 2 on Tuesday, and anywhere from 1 to 3 on Wednesday. Winners bracket games start at 4 o'clock today. And that's a walk. First one of those allowed by Nice. 5th by a Greensboro pitcher. So here is Hahn, who is now behind the plate.
Number 2, Jimin Hahn.
Hahn still looking for his first hit on the day. A strikeout victim in the second. Popped out to the first baseman. Back in the 4th.
First baseman and Bartley now going to play in front of the runner as Hahn shows bunt and sends that one foul. Representing in the broadcast that this facility home for Lafayette Jeff. Post 11 plays matches here. The American Legion team, the Lafayette Aviators. in the Collegiate Prospect League. They lost last night to Kokomo 14-1 to unfortunately bring their inaugural season to an end.
Kokomo will retain the Battle of 26 trophy.
Kokomo also qualified for the playoffs with that win last night. Strike. Ball got away from the catcher. Runner caught in a bit of a pickle. Third baseman runs him back. Shortstop will apply the tag. Kim will advance to second behind the plate, but another out recorded on the base paths.
Nope, they're not going to say. They're going to call interference here on the pickle.
Yeah, I think Zente may have made contact with the runner. So what appeared to be an out gets taken off the board. Runners now at second and third with nobody out.
Coach Holmes is going to come out and talk about it as we look at the replay again here. Zente runs him back, does a good job to force him back to the base he came from. And that's just, you do it all the time. You're walking through the mall and somebody's coming your way and you dance left and right, trying to figure out which way you guys are going to go. It's a good call by the umpire. For Zente, obviously unintentional to be in the way there. They teach you, once you get rid of it, you got to make a decision and go, and that time gambled wrong.
Well, I have seen worse examples of contact not go called. Again, to the letter of the law, that's the right call.
Sure. We saw a play yesterday, honestly, where they threw behind the runner out there at second base, and the shortstop just absolutely tackled the runner as the ball caromed into center field. And the runner really probably had plenty of time to go to third had he not been knocked down, and it was a no call.
So a pivotal moment in this game. Instead of having one out and a runner on second, now you're at second and third with nobody out. As South Korea is in the insurance run business. And Reed Holmes has at least gotten to this where he's going to ask for a little help from both the home plate umpire and the second plate umpire, home plate and second base umpire, and saying, hey, what did you guys see? Did you see similar contact there? Was perhaps the runner out of the base paths when there was any contact that was made?
I mean, honestly, after seeing it again, I feel like the umpire made the right decision here. It's either a call or a no call, but once you make the call, he made it correctly.
Personal judgment, I think you could have let that go as a no call, but again, you can see there definitely was some contact that was made there.
It's like traveling in the NBA. You can call it, and you're right. It just doesn't get called very often.
So it seems like the conversation is primarily between the second base umpire and the third base umpire as to whether that should have been called or not.
So Coach Holmes at least comes out and gets his money's worth. Always so polite when you talk to him, too. So I'm sure he, that same Southern courtesy out there with the umpires right now.
And the runner will stay at third base. Count it 1 and 2 here to Hahn.
Number 2, Jamin Hahn.
Hahn is 0 for 2 today, a strikeout and a foul ball to first base. Infield, of course, has to play in here. Swing and a miss. So there is that important first out. And the first, I think that's the second strikeout for Nice.
If you're Greensboro right here, though, you got to try to limit the damage. Get that lead runner coming home if you can, but you got to at least get the second out of the inning here.
They'll ask. He didn't go.
A lot of times you tell a pitcher, pitch to contact, let the defense play behind you. This is a situation where you want your pitcher to be dominant. You can get another strikeout here, get to that second out of the inning, it changes everything.
Line drive, whether the infield's in or not, they're not catching that one. That's a base hit. Runner will come around to score. Again, no need to force the issue for South Korea. They'll keep the secondary runner in Kim at third. It is now a 2-run game yet again. And the RBI for the number 9 hitter in Bach.
It's a good piece of hit and drives that one right back through the middle. Able to plate the runner. It was on the corner.
4th hit allowed by Nice in the 8th batter he has faced. And a little conversation as far as what the defensive signals and signs are going to be. That's the reason for the momentary delay. There was going to be no change of pitcher there. That was just an, all right, where are we going? If there's potentially something on with the runner at first base, what do we do? Toss back to first, see if maybe somebody tips their hand. They don't there. Leadoff man and Shin has scored twice, tripled back in the first. Throw back to first, and certainly Neese is convinced the runner in Bach is going to be taken off here on the pitch home. Runner goes, line drive, left field, base hit, does not matter. Again, station-to-station baseball, but South Korea pushes their lead back to 3 at 9-6.
Another hit for Shin on the day. Make that 2 with a single and a triple. And look at it, they're just driving it into the outfield. This South Korean team doing a really nice job at the plate as well as defensively.
So here is Lee, the shortstop. Curveball's in for a strike. Lee has reached twice, scored twice, has a double as well. Swing and a miss, 0-2. So fourth trip to the lineup here for South Korea. They have now scored in 4 of their 6 innings here in this game. Curveball popped up. Center field drifting back, drifting back, drifting back. Eventually makes the grab. Runner does tag from second. They're going to try to wave him around and score. Throw comes home. Tag applied. They got him. They got him.
Boy, I'll tell you what. You can't blame South Korea for trying, as that ball was hit to the deepest part of the ballpark, but what a relay there from North Carolina. Good tag at the plate.
From center field to shortstop to the catcher, trying to score from second on a deep fly ball to center. Take a look at the play here at the plate. Throw a little high. Tag applied. Ruled to be in time. But South Korea pushes that lead back to 3 here at MTC Sports.
Since 1980, Phoenix Lawn and Garden has been family owned and operated. For over 30 years, the Thomases have provided reliable, quality brand name products and services to their customers. Let's face it, you don't make it this far in this industry with anything less. Generation after generation. From the initial sale through the life of the purchase, Phoenix is there every step of the way. Thomas's Phoenix Lawn and Garden, where we make tall grass short.
Hoosier North winning their opportunity here on Loeb Stadium. And trying to keep their tournament alive. This is the 3rd day in a row they have played. They take on the South Texas Sluggers following this contest on MTC Sports. Landon Smith was at the plate when the 3rd out of the inning was recorded to end the 5th. So he will get a look at Sung Son, the 3rd pitcher of this game for South Korea. This is the first batter that he has faced, even though he was on the hill when that out was recorded.
So he threw the most important strike of the inning, and that was over to first base to get him into the pickle.
Final warm-up tosses for Son, and we'll be underway here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Greensboro last year lost their opener of the tournament and then won their way all the way back to the championship game before falling to Puerto Rico. Greensboro had to beat Los Gatos, California on successive days to get to that championship game. So 7, 8, and 9 coming up this time through. And a strike called. Smith, pair of fly ball outs today. It's on much like his predecessor in Yoon Ki Lee. Throws that ball from the side.
Well, the benefit for the Greensboro hitters on that is that you've kind of seen that motion and you started to tee off on it. So it shouldn't be a ton of change, just trying to get the timing down. Figuring out what all the pitcher has in his repertoire.
Of course, from those in this country, when you see that and you think of a Korean baseball player, Byung-Young Kim immediately comes to mind. Part of a World Series championship team with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Count remains at 0-2. Just missed on the outside corner. 2-1. Bledsoe awaits on deck for Greensboro.
Oh, got it.
And Smith is like, well, what? Why did I get out of the way? I would have gotten a free bag, and I kept. Count it 2-2. And a swing and a miss. One down.
Yeah, Luke on that swing there, or excuse me, Smith on that swing there. That front foot stepping back, that'll shorten the length of your bat tremendously. So when that one finds the outside corner of the plate, it induces that swing and miss.
Bledsoe 0 for 2 today. This is his favorite team, the Red Sox, but his favorite player plays for the Cleveland Indians, Jason Kipnis. Two 2-0. I believe that Kipnis got his 19th home run of the season last night for the Cleveland Indians.
Oh, last pitch really wasn't too bad. Had some nice tailing action back across the strike zone. This one's going to get him, though.
That one tailed into between his shoulder blades. First hit by a pitch we've had in today's game. And a pinch hitter coming up here for Greensboro. This will be John Spillman. He'll be asked to come on and bat in this position. So this is the second different pinch hitter we have seen in this spot for Greensboro.
That should end Luke Pegram's day.
You've seen both Pegram and Mason Chu in this spot in the lineup. Be the first appearance for Spillman in the tournament. At least at the plate.
That one gets away, but not far enough to take off. Job by Quan over there at first base and getting enough of the glove on it to keep it relatively close.
And Greensboro finds themselves in a similar predicament they were in last inning. They were down by 4, able to cut it to 1. Now that deficit currently 3. And off the hands, Flair, they'll fire back to first. He is back in time. But Spillman's time at the plate was brief, 2 down.
That pitch there is almost a defensive swing, honestly. It'd either get hit or hit it, and he gets the bat around there and just hits it right above the hands. Will pop up to the pitcher.
So here is Edwards, retired as a putout. Was on an error in the 5th inning. And so he's reached base all 3 times, but the first time he's got something other than a hit in his plate appearances over the last couple of days. Singled and doubled in the 1st and 2nd, scored the first run of the game for Greensboro. And the count is at 2-0.
It was a 2-out rally for Greensboro last inning. They get one going here.
Son suddenly missing the plate. 3-0. He's taken all the way. That's in for a strike. And ball 4. That's exactly what Greensboro needs as far as just getting runners on board. Tying run will come to the plate now, and Tommy Zenti. 2 runners on without benefit of a base hit this inning.
Quick meeting at the mound will take place, and you got the hitter you want up in this situation again. Had some good production at the plate coming into today, already a double in the game as well. One of those guys you can trust usually to put the ball in play. With that wind blowing out and left, you can find a ball up a little bit and in that catches just too much of that plate. Since they put a little charge into it, that jet stream will take care of the rest.
So after the conversation on the mound, Son will stay out there and will face Tommy Zenti for the first time. Zenti reached on a fielder's choice and would come around to score last inning. He's got 2 runs scored today.
Saw a camera shot a minute ago of the bullpen down there from South Korea. You see the smoke coming up. That's not from a flamethrower down there. Heat coming off the arm. The grounds crew is stationed just beyond that. I think they're having a little cookout today.
It's a great day for it. Why wouldn't you? Strike called.
If they're making something real good, I may have to go down there and visit them between games.
And a swing and a miss. Zenti gives chase. 1-2. And tries to get him to chase one out of the zone.
Not a bad pitch. You got him to do it a second ago. Why not try it again? You had one to waste there.
Able to stay alive with that swing. Again, it was out of the zone. Zenti able to make contact. 2-2. And a swing and a miss. Sung San fired up about the result, as well he should be. It'll be a 3-run lead for South Korea going to the final inning. We're back in a moment on MTC Sports.
Construction projects mean deadlines. At McAllister Machinery and the Cat Rental Store, We understand the challenges our customers face. That's why our team of professionals are here to help. From our knowledgeable support staff to our industry-leading service department, McAllister Machinery and the Cat Rental Store are here to make sure you get the right equipment delivered on time. Whether it's cat equipment, JLG lifts, or Solaire air compressors, we carry it all. McAllister Machinery and the Cat Rental Store, helping build Indiana since 1945.
Wouldn't it be sweet to happily live a life that's filled with glee and sing about how joyful it can be?
I'd like to hear that.
Live life to its fullest every day with the highest level of primary care from Indiana University Health.
When you have your health, you have everything.
Indiana University Health. Schedule same-day primary care appointments at 1-888-IU-HEALTH.
Game number 1 of 4 today on MTC Sports in the Colt World Series. That's final scheduled inning. 3, 4, and 5 coming up this time through for South Korea. And they scored 3 in the top of the first. They have never trailed today. They've put up 5 runs in the last 2 innings. Has South Korea. And first pitch swinging on Nice. Jung will send that one foul. Productive at bats every time up. 2 singles, 2 runs scored, and a sacrifice fly in his 3 plate appearances today. And rips this one in left field for a base hit.
But I tell you, this is a team from South Korea that can just absolutely pepper the baseball. We don't have the benefit of a hit chart, but I'd love to show you one because they've hit all over the field.
They have consistently put the leadoff man aboard. And in 4 of 5 innings where the leadoff man has reached, that man has scored for South Korea.
I tell you, we don't typically do keys to victory for a baseball game, but that's one of them right there is get your leadoff hitter on. Walk, hit, whatever you got to do, you get them on, and that usually spells good things for you, and it's definitely proven true here for South Korea.
Runner going, delayed steal. Will not matter. That's going to fall in perfectly for a base hit. Runner never stopped going from second to third. Outfielder stumbles to give him the full wave around. He will score. It's a 4-run lead for South Korea.
So a base hit ruled here. They're going to rule the error on the outfielder, letting that get past him. Run goes from first to home, showing off the speed and the Jets.
So runs in 5 of 7 innings for South Korea. And they're top of the order. Have been absolutely lethal today. Now, Kwan's a number 5 hitter, but he's 0 for 3. He's at the plate now. Strikeouts the last couple of times up for Kwan. Not this time. Sends a charge into that one. That'll get down to the gap in left center field. That will play to run. But Kwan with his first hit of the day has at least a double. He'll stop right there. But he's also got an RBI, and South Korea now enjoys their largest lead of the game as it grows to 11-6.
Coming in your last at bat, what you always want to do is try to plate just a few more insurance runs to give yourself the confidence. And you see the jubilation there from the South Korean squad. They had a couple more here, now up 5 runs. This team is for real.
So Shim at the plate. He sprays this one to right field. That'll get down for a base hit. They will hold the runner at third. But South Korea absolutely peppering the baseball off of Nice right now. 4 straight hits to start the inning.
Seen him a few times through the lineup now as the batters are starting to get another look at Nice. And you're right. They've seen all they want to see right here, and it's almost like contagious. A basketball team gets on a hot streak shooting the basketball, and it just spreads throughout the team. It's the same thing in baseball. one hitter after another after another.
Kim walked and scored last time up. He's walked twice today. He does not have one of the 13 hits for South Korea at this point. Time is called. Runner was going. This one line foul. Everybody's all right down the way. If you're seated by the dugouts, your head's got to be up here. Count it 0-2. Infield playing even with the bags at the corners. Double play depth up the middle. This one gets away from the catcher. And far enough where another run is going to score for South Korea. Make it 12-6. And it certainly appears that Greensboro's trip to Lafayette this time around will be significantly shorter than the one they had last year.
Just, looking at them this year, they've made a few mistakes here and there that are uncharacteristic of a Greensboro team that we've seen in the tournament. But I tell you, they've run into a buzzsaw here. This South Korea team is showing that they can absolutely hit the ball. And the other day against Mexico, I said it, these guys look scrappy, look like they came to compete this year. They lost that game, but they have since put up 2 big offensive games in a row.
So it appears the third baseman in Zenti going to come on to act as the third relief pitcher for Greensboro. With that, let's go ahead and take a quick time out. We'll come back and tell you about Tommy on the mound when we come back here on MTC Sports.
Hi, my name is Mike Whittiving, president of Tecton Construction Management. We build quality commercial buildings using our trademarked integrated project delivery system called filtering. Essentially what filtering does is it reduces waste during the design, bidding, and construction phase of the project, which saves money. We scrutinize construction details and our hired contractors, which improves quality, and we manage risk in a way to reduce exposure to our owners during the project. Let us be your first call to help you quantify your vision within your budget. I hope to talk to you soon.
And as he does, Jalen Attaway comes flying in with the monster dunk. Get up, young fella. Down close to the first down. And it's caught. And he's going to take it down.
Hey, Jennifer's Mike, Trooper Money Slang. Aw, scram.
I'm Chris Mike, Jubby Robon, Shall gonna lead up in Kisbet.
Peace charity, get town down.
Toothpaste dummy way.
Brona brood.
What?
With the top 100 shows preloaded, Xfinity is perfect for people who want to join the conversation. Catch up on the shows everyone is talking about. Get started with the Xfinity X1 Triple Play from Comcast for $99 a month for a whole year. Call 1-800-XFINITY or visit Comcast.com today.
For Greensboro, they will bring in Zenti from third to pitch. They will move Pruitt from shortstop to third base. And Neese moves back to the shortstop spot that he had for the first 4+ innings of the game. Neese himself goes 2+ innings. Kim, a sky-high pop-up. Shortstop in Neese able to make the play. 1 pitch and 1 out for Tommy Zenti.
It's a great opportunity, Greg. We talk about our sponsors here at the tournament. Our tournament sponsor this year, the Visitors Bureau. Visit Lafayette, West Lafayette. They are the tournament sponsor for the 2016 Colt World Series. Without them, this broadcast probably would not be possible.
Well, they certainly have Chamber of Commerce weather for us today. There's no doubt about that. This is the type of weather that you hope to have when you're bringing someone to your city. So whether you're visiting Lafayette or West Lafayette, beautiful day for it. Runner takes off, pitcher steps off the mound. It's a balk anyway, so it gets a free base. Ground ball, third base. Tag applied, doesn't get him. Still has time to throw to first and get the out. It's well done by Pruitt. That's his third position of the day, yet he played that one perfectly as a third baseman.
Yeah, you know, an arm like that, you wonder why you stick him over at first base and hide him in the infield. Look at this play. Just misses the tag there, but alert and a strong enough arm to get the runner across the diamond.
Off the end of the bat, this will fall for a base hit, and South Korea plates one more. And yet again, being aggressive on the base paths pays off for South Korea.
Just playing the game the right way here in this tournament. Making all the right decisions.
How about the RBI from Bach, the number 9 hitter? He's got back-to-back singles now. So 5th time up, the leadoff man and Jae-Ho Shim. Foul ball. 3 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, 4 in the 7th now for South Korea.
North Carolina always able to pull close enough in the tournament, but then big innings is what they've allowed defensively. This one almost out of reach now at 7.
Oh, and 2. Looking ahead for Greensboro, 3, 4, and 5 coming up next. But clearly they got a lot of work to do. Curveball swing and a miss, and the inning is over. But safe to say more than insurance runs for South Korea. 13-6 they lead. Bottom of the 7th coming up next on MTC Sports.
Most of the time, commercials require a fancy voiceover to sell their product. But here at Pepe's Mexican Restaurant, we believe in letting these images speak for themselves. But I just can't help myself. Tantalizing. Delicious. I can almost taste it. Pepe's Mexican Restaurant, Sagamore Parkway, Lafayette.
MLB Network brings you closer all season long.
That ball is gone!
With 5 games every week.
Are you kidding me?
And 200 games this season.
Unbelievable.
With MLB Tonight's live coverage every night.
That is so true.
And more highlights.
His 3,000th hit.
Analysis.
A fastball that cuts.
And live look-ins all night long.
Number 500.
Get closer to the game on MLB Network.
To the bottom of the 7th we go. Game 1 of 4 today on MTC Sports and for the 2006 Colt World Series. Greg Rakestraw, Sean Walker with you. First team potentially be sent home today. And 2 teams know they cannot win the tournament. And Michigan and the Czech Republic know that their final game is tomorrow. With the loser of 2 afternoon games, their tournaments are over. Greensboro right now on the short end of a 13-6 score. This one, right center field. Center fielder drifting back, has room. Bartley is retired as out number 1 of the inning. And one thing you have noticed throughout the course of this game is that the ball is really carrying to the outfield today. Doesn't take much to send that ball towards the warning track.
Not at all, and I'll tell you, expect to probably see some more home runs as the day progresses here, especially if that wind continues to blow like it is out there in the outfield.
So Neese, shortstop, then pitcher, then shortstop. First pitch swinging, tears that one foul. And Hoosier North and the South Texas Sluggers next game up. That start time was scheduled to be right about now. So it's probably neighborhood of 2 o'clock or so before that one starts local time. And a swing and a miss by Neese. Again, this is our 5th year of covering this tournament at MTC Sports, and Korea is clearly the best. This Korean team is the best team we have seen from that region. No doubt about that.
No doubt about it at all. A great showing, and not just a team that's showing up here to compete. They're looking like a team that could possibly win this tournament.
Nice. Swing and a miss, and Greensboro down to a final out. So Landon Smith, the left fielder, had a sacrifice fly back in the first, and a single in the fifth. Represented the tying run at one point. He was picked off at third in a 7-6 game. But again, clearly the script has changed in the 2 innings since then. And given how Korea's been swinging the bats, I'm not sure if that run would have made much of a difference.
Not at all.
Off the end of the bat, foul, 0-2. Line drive. Bounces. It'll be an error on the shortstop, but at least one more batter comes to the plate for Greensboro.
Yeah, extend the game just a little bit longer here.
So here comes Pruitt. Pruitt singled his last time up, had an RBI. 1 for 3 today. Pruitt has played 3 different positions for Greensboro in today's game.
And done it well.
Had a great play at third base last inning. Sung Son trying to be the only pitcher from Korea to not give up a run in today's game. Popped up. Shallow right field. Right fielder has a lot of distance to travel. Second baseman makes the diving catch. And that's the way you can end this one emphatically for South Korea, as they win this one by a final of 13-6.
What a play there to end it, and that just talks about South Korea's tournament right here. They're getting it done at the plate. They get it done defensively. Look at this one again to finish the game. Giving chase, able to just follow it over, make a great diving play there in the second baseman, and Jun Young Bak had a great day at the plate. Great web gym there defensively.
Let's don't go ahead and mention our player of the game for Seoul, South Korea. And most of the great defensive plays for Korea were made by the third baseman, not the second baseman today in Jung. But he was phenomenal at the plate. He was 3 for 3, 3 runs scored, had a couple of RBI as well, both offensively and defensively. He's our player of the game.
Well, I tell you, usually every year you see a player that you think he could play in the majors one day, and he's that guy right now that I'm seeing in this tournament. Congratulations to him and the South Korea team.
Well, for Seoul, South Korea, they will play tomorrow night in another elimination game at 7:30. For Greensboro, North Carolina, their tournament comes to an end. They were runners-up a year ago, but unfortunately no victories in Lafayette for Reed Holmes and squad this year. We'll take a bit of a break, give our crew a chance to catch their breath, get out of the sun just a little bit, and get ready for our next game between the South Texas Sluggers and Hoosier North. For Sean Walker and our entire MTC Sports crew, this is Greg Rakestraw. Goodbye from now from Lafayette as you're watching the 2016 Colt World Series on MTC Sports.